Greetings, true believers, and welcome to another incredible episode of History of the Marvel Universe. The creature known as the Incredible Hulk was introduced in the first issue of his self-titled series in 1962. The series ran for only 6 issues before being cancelled, but the Hulk appeared again in the first issue of the Avengers as a founding member. However, the Green Goliath proved to be unpredictable and left the team the following issue, guest appearing in several books over the following months, more or less as an antagonist. This week's yarn begins in Tales to Astonish number 60, which marked the beginning of a new series of solo Hulk stories. Back in these early days, Bruce Banner was still learning and growing accustomed to the triggers that would cause him to transform into the Hulk. In addition, Banner's double identity was not yet widely known, and so he was still working for the US military at this time. He had crafted a robotic defense suit capable of withstanding even the most powerful explosions to aid in the Army's nuclear tests. One late night while Banner was working, he caught sight of a spy who had snuck into the military base. The spy ran off and Banner gave chase, but, still unused to his transformations, accidentally allowed his heart rate to increase enough to cause his monstrous change. The Hulk leapt away from the base while inside the unnamed spy entered Banner's robot. The following morning, when testing was set to start for the robotic suit, the spy arrived in Banner's place and smashed the firing tank before attempting to escape. But the Hulk was still wandering the area, and suspecting that Banner had built the robot to defeat him, the Hulk attacked. However, the mechanical armor was too strong for the Green Goliath, who wasn't able to damage it before he started to feel his transformation back into Bruce Banner begin. And so, the robot-clad spy knocked the Hulk down and escaped to continue his mission, finding one of Banner's hidden labs and using his equipment to build a missile powerful enough to destroy the American base. Meanwhile, after being found again by the Army, Banner returned to the base to begin working on a machine to track down his robotic creation. While all that was happening, Major Glenn Talbot arrived at the base as well. Betty Ross, the daughter of General Thunderbolt Ross and love interest to Bruce Banner, agreed to show Talbot around the base at her father's request. And so while Banner tracked his robot through the hills, Betty and Talbot caught sight of him via helicopter and decided to land near the rocky outcropping. The spy-controlled robot spotted the landing aircraft and, fearing they were after him, hoisted up a large boulder with the intent to smash them. The noise caught Banner's attention, allowing him to catch sight of the machine preparing to crush Betty and Talbot. With little time to react, Bruce Banner allowed himself to transform into the Incredible Hulk, who leapt up, crashing into the rock moments before it could impact with Betty. The Hulk turned his attention to his robotic opponent once again, and a rematch ensued. Although the Hulk was unable to damage the robot's indestructible armor, he was able to knock it into a seemingly bottomless pit where the unnamed spy piloting it presumably perished. However, the spy had already completed his missile and set the timer to launch. Of course, the Hulk was there to jump up and destroy the missile, but the resulting explosion sent him crashing back to Earth. Furthermore, with Talbot nearby, the Army were quickly summoned to bind the unconscious Hulk. Meanwhile, the spy's master, a masked man known only as the Leader, contacted another agent in his spy network to investigate. A man fans of the Amazing Spider-Man may be familiar with, the Master of Disguise known as the Chameleon. The Chameleon easily infiltrated the Army base and disguised himself as General Ross, with the intention to recruit the Hulk onto his own side. That night, the phony Ross ordered the guards away from the Hulk so he could talk to him alone. But, as he did, the Green Goliath changed back to Bruce Banner, slipping from his bonds in the process. Banner snuck away in the darkness and fortunately ran into Rick Jones, a close ally and one of the few people on Earth who knew of the Hulk's dual identity. However, after changing into a fresh set of clothes provided by Rick and reconvening with Ross and Talbot, Banner was jumped by the Chameleon, who tied him up and began to pilfer his lab, stealing a prototype gamma grenade. Then, when Betty arrived to visit Bruce and saw him acting strangely, she immediately deduced that he was the same imposter who had impersonated her father. Hearing Betty struggling with the spy in the next room, Banner transformed again while attempting to escape his bonds and smashed into the room as the Hulk. The resulting chase ended when the chameleon threw the gamma bomb grenade, threatening everyone in the area. Fortunately, the Hulk was able to bear the brunt of the explosion, diving onto the bomb and shielding the others with his own body. This caused him to once again revert to Bruce Banner, who was able to slip away without being seen before the smoke cleared. Meanwhile, back at his hidden lab, the villainous leader continued his sinister work, creating a nearly invincible synthetic humanoid. This, true believers, is where we learn the origin of the leader. Once a simple laborer at a chemical research plant, later revealed to be named Samuel Stearns, his life was irrevocably changed when a freak accident caused an experimental gamma-ray cylinder to explode, bombarding Stearns' body in the mysterious gamma radiation. While the man miraculously survived the deadly rays, something had changed in his brain. Suddenly, a man who was a high school dropout was thirsting for knowledge and couldn't seem to get enough. Eventually, after a period of intense study, the full effects of the gamma rays began to manifest. Stearns' skin turned green and his skull expanded to accommodate his now larger brain. With his new super intellect, Stearns disregarded his old name and took a new one, the Leader, as he began his quest to overthrow the US government. Back to the story at hand, the chameleon, still undercover at the US Army base, reported back to the Leader that Banner's latest invention would be transported via train to a new test site. The Leader dispatched his synthetic humanoid robot, which he piloted remotely, able to see what the humanoid saw through his spectroscopic transmitter, with the intention to steal Banner's nuclear secrets. Of course, when the humanoid attacked the train, the stress caused Banner to transform into the Hulk once again and rush out to challenge it. Upon seeing the Hulk through the eyes of the humanoid, the Leader immediately deduced, based on his appearance, that the Hulk's inhuman strength must be the result of gamma exposure, the same way his own super intelligence was. While the Hulk was able to fight off the Leader's humanoid, the battle had left the villainous super genius with a new goal: to study and gain control of the Hulk's superhuman strength. His next attempt came during the testing of the machine he had failed to steal, the nuclear absorbitron, a device which in theory could absorb and nullify the impact of a nuclear explosion. Talbot accosted Banner, accusing him of having some unproven connection to the Hulk. With his heart rate increasing, Banner noticed he had run out of the tranquilizer pills he had been using to keep himself calm, and ran off where his transformation wouldn't be witnessed. This time, when the Hulk appeared, he was attacked by an entire horde of the Leader's humanoids. The resulting battle lasted late into the evening, with the Hulk unable to damage the humanoids, and vice versa. Eventually, the army intervened, causing the cliffside to collapse, and both the Hulk and the humanoids to tumble into the sea, where, after transforming back, Banner was abducted by communist agents who brought him back behind the Iron Curtain. This went about as well as you'd expect when the Hulk broke free and leapt back to America. The Leader's next attempt to steal the nuclear absorbitron came when he unleashed an entire army of tiny humanoids onto Astra Isle, where Banner's machine was being kept. The tiny machines began to expand, growing to overrun the island. Of course, the Hulk appeared again, but this time the Leader was prepared. Several humanoids glommed onto the Green Goliath and released a powerful knockout gas, putting the monster to sleep long enough for the Leader to transport him back to his hidden lair, along with the absorbitron. Of course, the Hulk wouldn't be contained for long and broke free of his chamber, destroying the absorbitron in the process. The Leader, however, escaped, and would return to challenge the Hulk countless times over the years. So this just leaves one question. Whatever happened to that robot suit that the Hulk knocked into that pit? Well, it seems at some point Banner recovered it, and it appears again briefly in Incredible Hulk number 601, when Banner wears it to challenge the Hulk's half-alien son, Scar. This doesn't really go well for him when Scar uses his alien old power to destroy it. It seems the reason the suit was able to stand up to the Hulk's power but not Scar's is that it was built to absorb gamma energy. This makes sense considering the suit was intended to withstand the weapons Banner was developing, which were all gamma-based. And that's all for this week. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and share it on your favorite social media. As always, the issues referenced in this video are listed in the description below if you would like to read them for yourself, along with links to my various social medias, including my Twitch channel where we stream classic Marvel games twice a week. So until next time, true believers, Excelsior!